Jets win. The New York Jets get their second victory in a row. How about that? They beat the Cleveland Browns 27-20. What a game it was for these New York Jets. We're going to get into everything you need to know about this game. The good, the bad, but the best part about it is they won. We don't have to talk about one of those games where the Jets played good here, good there, but they lost. Maybe there's some positives in the loss. No, the Jets won the football game, and I'm excited to break it all down. Aaron Glenn gets his second victory as the Jets head coach. Back-to-back wins, might I add, and I think this win means a lot. And if you're a Jets fan, you should be happy, and I'm explaining to you exactly why in this video. Feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments about the New York Jets victory over the Cleveland Browns. Love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments section. As always, don't forget to subscribe if you're new here. Hit the thumbs up button, and let's get into it right away. Now, before we get into the game and talk about who played well, what were the stats, and what happened on the football field, I kind of want to talk about the emotional aspect to this win and why I think it's important here. Because when you add the context of what happened these last few weeks for these Jets, I mean, you talk about trading away Quinnen Williams and Sauce Gardner. Everybody looks at the Jets as the tanking Jets, and they're terrible now. They're never going to win a game for the rest of the year. And I get that the Cleveland Browns, they're a 2-win team. They're not great, right? But going against a team like the Cleveland Browns at home, after shipping off your 2 stars of defense and getting all these assets, this was a win that I think Aaron Glenn really needed, because you look at what this Jets football team is trying to do. They're trying to establish a winning mindset and a culture that is about winning, finding new ways to win. And the way that the Jets won the football game today was a team victory, all 3 phases of the ball: special teams, defense, offense in the second half, more specifically in the fourth quarter, woke up, and that's what matters the most. This football team is learning how to win, and this is really important here, because if you're a Jets fan and you're looking at Aaron Glenn and you're rooting for him and you want him to be the guy, then you want to get these wins. But if you're a fan that only cares about the draft and looks at the draft order now that the Jets are not in the top 3 anymore and you're whining and upset about it, first of all, don't. Because in my opinion, the Jets trading away Sauce and Quinnen, they have all the ammo. So if the Jets love Fernando Mendoza or Ty Simpson or any of these top quarterbacks, they have the ammo to trade up now. So go out there, win some football games. You look at this schedule, there's 9 games left after the bye. They get this win. By the way, the Jets also never win after the bye week, so that's a plus for Mr. Aaron Glenn. Try to get rid of that same old Jets energy that everyone keeps saying, oh, same old Jets, same old Jets. Well, the Jets usually get killed after the bye week. That's a dub. Good sign there. But I feel like when you look at the draft, like, I'm not worried about that right now, man. There's 9 games after the bye. The Jets are now 1-0 in those 9 games, and I think this is a really good evaluation. How does Aaron Glenn keep this team together? And you're looking at these football players on the field. They're all bought into what Aaron Glenn is preaching here. And I feel like there's some people out there that there's no winning, right? It's either the Jets lose and people just rip apart Aaron Glenn, that he sucks, he's terrible, he doesn't know what he's doing, he needs to get fired, or the Jets win and, oh, it's meaningless, why do they do this, why do they win? So there's just not pleasing some fans. That's not me. I look at this football team at this stage of the season, 1-7 entering this game after trading away Sauce and trading away Quinnen, and then Garrett's not even 100%, and they're still able to get guys to go out there and perform at a high level and win football games. Being able to contain the generational talent of Myles Garrett to 1 sack. You shouldn't be happy about what the offensive line did today. Were they perfect? No. Justin Fields was under pressure a lot in the first half, but in the second half, they did a tremendous job. Holding Myles Garrett to 1 sack, you deserve flowers. Holding, the run game from the offensive line perspective was flawless in that second half. So there's so many things in this game that this Jets football team can build on, and it's about building this team brick by brick, because we want to establish the squad. We want to build a core that we can be excited about entering next season when we have all the ammunition to get all new rookies, free agents, make some trades, and maybe a new quarterback. No disrespect to Justin Fields, of course, but I think we all understand this team is going to make a shift at quarterback. So let's get into what happened on the football field, and I'll start off with Justin Fields, right? He was struggling a lot through his first interception of the season, excuse me. He threw it over the middle to Garrett Wilson. Didn't see the safety over the middle, gets picked off. I'm not really going to go deep into that interception because I like Justin Fields being aggressive a little bit more. I hate when he's conservative and afraid to throw the ball because he does that a lot of times. But I will give Justin a lot of credit because he did, go deep within himself and understand in the second half when the rain is pouring down, don't force anything, be smart, stay on the ground, run the ball with Breece Hall, and he did a relatively okay job in the second half. Now, did Fields look good in this game? Absolutely not. I mean, he's not a good quarterback. I knew he was not a good quarterback entering this game, and I leave this game thinking he's still not a good quarterback. A lot of things around him are not working. The only thing I'm frustrated with is this pass attack is just non-existent. The only passing yards he had was a screen pass to Breece Hall for that touchdown, which we'll talk about. A.D. Mitchell did not play in this game, and there was no really passing at all. This is all on the ground, led by the Jets special teams and defense. So Justin Fields, not really a lot to evaluate. You guys know the type of quarterback he is. He looks great one game, and then he does what he did today against a very, very good Cleveland Browns defense. So I give the Browns defense a lot of credit there. But getting into what happened in the first quarter, right? The Jets defense, they give up a touchdown, and right there you're like, how are you going to let Dylan Gabriel run all over you, and you're down 7-0, but the Jets answer right away with a kick return for a touchdown. Kene Nwangwu just ties up the game. We missed Kene a lot this season. He's always injured, but when he's out there, he is a difference maker, and he had a really fun quote. He talked to Janae Coakley of SNY after the game, and he said that we want to win games on special teams, and not just use special teams as one of those things that you're just like, yeah, it's just you're trying to play good. Like, no, you can win games on special teams, and the Jets proved that today, right? You got 2 touchdowns, 14 points, and pinning them deep with punts, which our rookie punter is fantastic. So the Jets special teams, Chris Banjo, the special teams coordinator, he deserves a lot of credit as well. So I think that there's so many things to this game. It's a collective effort, special teams, defense, offense. So going into the defense, how about the breakout performance of Will McDonald? 4 sacks, 8 pressures, over a 20% pressure rate. I mean, this was fantastic. I mean, you would assume this was Myles Garrett doing these things. No, it was Will McDonald. He was playing like a man possessed out there, getting to the quarterback. This is what we missed. The defense has not got a lot of sacks this year. The most sacks the Jets got was in this game this year. 6 total sacks, 4 of them to Will McDonald, 1 of them to Jermaine Johnson, and 1 to Quincy Williams. This was a really big performance from Steve Wilks. The defensive line also stepped up without Quinnen Williams. They really contained Judkins to the best of their abilities, in my opinion. When you watched the game, it felt like Judkins was doing his thing and run all over the place, but they limited him, man. 75 yards and just 3.4 yards per carry. I will take that. His longest carry was 11. So I think the Jets defense overall was really solid today, holding them to 20 points. And I know they're going up against a rookie quarterback, and it wasn't perfect. They let Dylan Gabriel get 2 touchdown passes through the air, one with Brandon Stevens in coverage and the other with Brownlee. But I think this defense responded, and they played their best brand of football in that second half. And I think that without Quinnen Williams and without Sauce Gardner, did you notice a difference? Did you feel like we were missing those guys? Because it didn't. From my perspective. Unfortunately, Azareye'h Thomas, the Jets rookie corner, left this game with a concussion-friendly fire. Jamie Sherwood hit him over the middle of the field, and he had to leave the game, unfortunately. And then the Jets did something interesting to replace A.Z. Thomas. They slid Brownlee to the outside, and then they put Malachi Moore, who was starting at safety, as the nickel, and then they had Oliver slide back out there at safety. So really interesting moving around in the secondary, and that was really fun to see. But you know who had a very underrated game in this one on defense, who led the Jets in tackles, which was Tony Adams in his first start since Andre Cisco is out for the season. Tony Adams, he's trying out for a role here long-term. 9 total tackles, 8 solo, 1 tackle for loss, and a pass deflection. So shout out to Tony Adams. He had a big-time game today. Really excited to see him go out there and make some plays all over the field. And another guy that really played well on defense was Quincy Williams. And I got to give the coaching staff a lot of credit here, because we saw the Jets bench Quincy Williams. That was the narrative the media was showing all week long, because Quincy shows up on Monday after the bye. He's with the twos. He talks to the media. He's like, yeah, I was benched. I don't know what's going on. And basically everyone was like, Aaron Glenn, why would they bench Quincy Williams? And Steve Wilks basically told the media that this was more about being real with Quincy. This is the type of coaching staff we have with Aaron Glenn that I love, right? They're not afraid to go up to Quincy and say, hey, Quincy, you're not playing to the level that we know you're capable of. So you're being benched for a possession. I mean, it's not even like he's benched for a full game. They're disciplining Quincy because they know that they are trying to unlock the beast of Quincy Williams that we all fell in love with when he was the all-pro linebacker just a few years ago. And then look what Quincy does. I mean, he goes out there and puts up 7 total tackles, 2 tackle for loss, and a sack. Like, Do the coaches get any credit for that? Yeah, they do. That's good coaching. That's going to your guy and really trying to spark the greatness that lies within Quincy, because Quincy probably every week is just feeling a little complacent, like, yeah, he's just playing ball. But no, the coaches go up to him and say, hey, you're not playing up to your standard. Like, what's going on? Let's wake you up. And they did just that. So I give the coaching staff credit there. I love that. Jermaine Johnson, love to see him get a sack and be a really big difference maker. Mozzie Smith in his Jets debut, he had a few flashes. Cool to see him out there, make some plays. And the Jets defensive line without Quinnen, like, obviously it's not as good without him, but they held their own, and I'm really, really intrigued what this defense is going to look like as they continue to progress throughout the season. Wasn't perfect by any stretch. Still have not forced a turnover since Brownlee. Still don't have an interception, but they're getting their hands on the balls, and I love to see that. Now, going over to the offense, Breece Hall, man. I mean, what more can you say about Breece? And the offensive line deserves a lot of credit. Now, the offensive line struggled in the first half, protecting Justin Fields, really there was no rhythm. The first quarter, the offense didn't touch the ball because they had 2 3-and-outs, and then the rest of the quarter was either the Jets were returning a kickoff or a punt return for a touchdown, or the Browns offense had the ball. Like, the offense barely had any time to get into a rhythm. And then in the second quarter, they had a nice drive down the field. Breece Hall finally gets an explosive run. Fields had an explosive run. You saw Arian Smith, the Jets' rookie wide receiver, get a nice end around, and the Jets settle for 3 points. You saw some fluidity. You saw some offensive sparks. And it was the second half where the Jets made their adjustments. They be really aggressive and go to Garrett Wilson on the left sideline, but unfortunately that play re-injured Garrett Wilson's knee that sidelined him for these last few games. So I don't know if Garrett Wilson's going to be able to play on Thursday night against the Patriots, unfortunately. But without Garrett Wilson in this game, we had the guys, we didn't really need wide receivers in this game, to be honest. There was just no, we didn't even need wide receivers because they were not throwing the ball down the field. But, A.D. Mitchell, the Jets receiver that we traded for, he did not play in this game. John Mechie III, he did play in this game. But I feel like the wide receivers, it's going to be a little slow burn. The weather, I think, had a lot of impact of the Jets' philosophy and also having a lead to not really worrying about throwing the ball. That really established that ground and pound. And when you have a lead to protect, which was like the first time the Jets had since week 1 against the Steelers, the Jets needed to be able to run the ball effectively, and they did. Everybody knew the Jets were running. The Browns, the whole world knew. Anybody watching the Jets-Browns game in the fourth quarter, you knew Breece was getting it. And Breece was getting it, and he was running, getting 5+ yards, getting 10 yards, really being really, really effective. And that touchdown that Breece Hall had, I have to add some context. It's really important, right? First down, the Jets are driving, and Tanner Engstrand calls a creative play. This is a tie game, 17-17 in the fourth quarter. And Tanner Engstrand gets cute, a little too cute, a little end-around trick play, -7 yards to John Mechie. And then the next play call, the Jets recognize the Browns are about to blitz. The Jets recognize pre-snap that they're blitzing, so they call this halfback screen pass to Breece Hall. And Breece Hall talked to the media after the game, and he said that they practiced this all week long, and they executed it perfectly. This is why practice matters. I know everybody likes to get on Aaron Glenn, like, why does he always talk about practice? Practice means nothing. No, practice is everything because it prepares you for the opponent, and it's about practicing and then executing on the field. We saw that in that particular play because the Jets saw on film that the Browns like to blitz the running back, and they do these certain things that really exploit a weakness, which is these screen passes. And what the Jets saw is if the right guard, Joe Tippmann, can get out in space and handle the blitzer, there's a chance this could be an explosive play. And that's exactly what happened. Joe Tippmann did his job. He took care of the guy that was going to tackle Breece Hall, and then Breece had nothing but daylight ahead of him, and he went for a 40+ yard touchdown. Like, that is coaching translating to execution. That is what you should be excited about against a really good Browns defense in the fourth quarter in a meaningful football game. I know, it's not meaningful, bro. It's two teams that stink. No, that was a meaningful game that the Jets just proved that they can win in the fourth quarter. So I love that mindset that they're executing at a high level in the high-pressured moments. They're recognizing a weakness on film and executing on the field. Now, you go into the defense getting their stuff, and then the last thing I have to say is at the end of the game, the Jets being able to draw them off sides. Come on, that's a great way to end it off. 4th and 4. You see Justin Fields do the hard count, jump off sides, Armand Membu's dancing. Jets win. Aaron Glenn gets his second win of his career with the New York Jets as the head coach, and I just am really happy for Aaron Glenn, man. I'm rooting for him, and I feel like, I said it earlier, but there's no winning for some people, right? It's either the Jets win a game and you're upset because you don't have a good draft pick if you're a Jets fan, or the Jets lose and you hate Aaron Glenn. Like, I don't understand what some people want this team to do. If you are rooting for Aaron Glenn, which, by the way, if you're a Jets fan rooting against Aaron Glenn, you're not a Jets fan, in my opinion. I mean, what are we doing here? We want Aaron Glenn to give us signs of hope that he knows what he's doing, because the first 7 games, it was tough. He had 4 games. It was tight, close, couldn't win. Few games of blowout territory, a lot of big failures. And I'm someone that always said on this channel that Aaron Glenn deserves his opportunity to build this team from scratch and learn on the job. He's a rookie head coach where he's still going to have some mistakes. He's going to have some time management problems, clock management, all these things. Like, he's learning on the fly. There was a thing that happened that I loved during the game. Aaron Glenn, in the middle of like a timeout or a TV timeout, he goes onto the field to hype up his offensive line. He goes up to them and just starts like screaming at the offensive line, like, let's go. And the offensive line, they did their jobs, man. They contained Myles Garrett. They opened up the lanes in the run game. I give that offensive line a lot of credit, man. If you're a Jets fan, you want to hang your hat on something positive in this game, it is Armand Membu and Olu Fashanu containing Myles Garrett. Like, that is a big deal. Wasn't perfect. Again, the Browns did get their wins, but man, what a game for these New York Jets, and the emotional factor of trading Sauce and Quinnen and having the guys step up to the plate and winning this game. It is absolutely fantastic. So please let me know your thoughts in the comment section, folks. Hit the thumbs up button. If you stayed to the end of the video, don't forget to comment down below a plain emoji. Big shout out to Sleeper, as always, for being the proud sponsor of Jets Media. If you guys are not using them by now, please consider to do so for Jets games, any NFL games, even NBA games, NHL. They got all the sports you can imagine over there on Sleeper. You guys can use my code JETS. You get a 100% match up to $100 when you use my code. Just simply click the link at the top of the description, folks. Download Sleeper. It's a great way to support me of what I do here on Jets Media. Cannot thank you guys enough for all the support. Let's go Jets. 2 wins in a row, baby. I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out.